What's happening? What's happening? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? I'm here. I am here. I had a rough start to the day, but I'm doing pretty good right now. For those who saw my earlier live, I was preparing for a race that I had this morning. And I thought that the race was this morning. I drove to the race site. I looked around. I said, where is the starting line? Where's the registration? Where's the people? The park was empty. So I was driving around, and I was feeling anxious because there has been one or two times where, not that I got the date of the race wrong, but just that I was looking for the start of the race and couldn't find it. And either ended up missing the race altogether or starting after everyone else started, which for a timed race sucked because now I was going to finish behind many people that are much slower times than me, but only a few races have a measurement of when you cross the starting line because that's more expensive. Who's here? Whoever is here, thank you for the like. Please drop a comment. Let me know you're here because this is a topic that I'm ready to address. I tend to find that the people that I'm trying to address the topics with don't show up. It seems pretty typical of the internet, but I would love for some of the people who are talking to jump in here so that what's going on with Kanye? He's from Chicago. Rich. There's nothing new going on with Kanye. The latest thing was the White Lives Matter shirts that he was wearing and the incident behind that. But I put up a post. The post was not even something that I made. It was a meme. Maybe it wasn't a meme, but it was just like an infographic, I guess you could say, put up on Instagram by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And the essence of what it was saying is that it's hard to communicate with somebody like Kanye West who has untreated mental illness. And it was saying that the people around him enable him to continue to do what he's doing. So it's hard to reach somebody in that position. So I made that post, and there was a lot of comments. And I'm waiting for people to come in here. Whether they come or not, I'm going to start addressing that. But I am hoping that some of the people who made those comments, the ones that are able to, come in here so that I can talk to them. He's a new Andy Kaufman, but way more offensive, right? That's a good one there. The thing is, there's many fans. These rich celebrities develop these dangerous cult followings. So, okay, the cult following is not necessarily dangerous in and of itself, but it's dangerous the fact that these celebrities can do and say anything, and people think that because they are rich and because they are financially successful, that means that they are gods. That means that they are better than you or me. So that means that they can do no wrong. That means their ish don't stink. And I'm seeing that trend. So for me, talking about a topic like mental health, people who have no idea what mental health is, aside from maybe a little bit about what they see on TV, tell me to educate myself when they have no idea. I've dealt with years of having my own mental illness. I've done a lot of research about mental illness. I've worked in the field. I'm still actively working in the field. I have a job in the mental health field that I've had for almost a decade. And most of the people telling me, educate yourself, don't even have my qualifications. Because I know there's not too many licensed clinicians or psychiatrists who are going to tell me the same things that those people are telling me. I work with them on a daily basis. We have caseloads together that we manage together. So the educate yourself comments, they don't really faze me. I'm very educated on the topic. In terms of acting like you're a brother, so why are you bringing down another brother? I'm not bringing down another brother. I'm looking at a brother that I admired for a number of years. It is condescending, Rich. It is condescending. Anyone that would say that is more likely a garbage person anyways. I agree. I'm looking at a brother who I supported for a number of years. I bought his first album, second album, third album. As a matter of fact, even the Kanye that I don't support the things that he's doing in his personal life, I've still supported his music. He's brilliant. So Rich, here's the thing that's annoying me, is that people think that saying that he has a mental health problem means he's stupid, means he's crazy, means he's not a genius, means he's not an amazing artist. More than one thing can be true at the same time. Art is art and life is life. How about that? R. Kelly. R. Kelly is an amazing artist. I don't care what anyone says. Try to deny to me that if we're just talking about the man's art, R. Kelly is an amazing artist. Does that mean that he's not a pedophile? No, it doesn't. He's a pedophile and a great artist. Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. Some of the greatest geniuses in the world have mental health issues or had mental health issues, offed themselves. But they were still geniuses. They were still brilliant. They were still rich. No pun intended, rich. They were still rich. You know what I mean? It's not even an insult to say that somebody needs some kind of help or therapy. And I feel like those type of people have so many enablers, whether it be in their circle, whether it be in their personal circle, or whether it be fans, or a combination of both, who are like, you can do absolutely no wrong. For example, if I'm trying to get my ex, my baby mother back, and unannounced, I send a truck of roses or whatever flowers they were over to her place, unapproved, unannounced, whatever, and she's currently with somebody at that time. A call is going to be made. I might get like a stay away order because I'm not rich. But in his case, he can do whatever he wants to do. He's got lawyers that can take care of that. He's got people that can take care of that. Right? No skin off his back. That man can do anything that he wants. That guy can have a breakdown, can literally have a breakdown in front of people. And people say that's part of his art. Not everything that he's doing is his art. That's a control issue, classist issue more than a racist issue. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Because of the class that he's in, due to the money that he has. I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't experience any issues, but his class kind of puts him above and beyond some of those issues and gets him out of things that the average black person like me, the average black man in particular, like me, isn't going to be able to get out of. Definitely, I agree with you there. Okay, so I want to get into some of these. And for those who are not in here, y'all can check this back on the feedback, right? I want to see where we at. You know what? I guess it's not going to show super clearly on the screen, but I'm just going to read them. Nicole Smith. Watch Kanye on Tucker Carlson on Fox, part 1 and 2, before you claim Kanye is crazy. We are the ones crazy. That's outrageous. Check the files. I didn't even use the word crazy. I did not even use the word crazy. That's number one. And neither did that post that I made. It didn't say crazy. It just said he has a serious mental illness. You added the crazy on there. You added that yourself, by the way. I didn't see him on Tucker Carlson. I saw his ABC interview. Nothing appeared crazy to me about his recent ABC interview. But I don't want to use the word crazy anyways, because I don't think people are crazy. I just think he has a seriously untreated mental illness that he does not believe that he has. I'm not his doctor, so I'm not going to diagnose him. But he has an untreated mental illness. I work in the field. I have a mental illness myself. Seen many cases of it. There's an issue going on. And there's nobody to put him in check. Matter of fact, I watched the Kanye documentary a few weeks ago. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It featured a lot of his mother in there. Kanye's mother was his rock. Kanye's mother, Donda, was the person who was his stability, the person who brought him down to earth when he was wilding. She was the person that he ran things by and was like, hey, Ma, you think I'm doing too much? You think I'm doing enough? Let me know. And she would be the one to tell him, like, yay, I love this. I don't love this. Don't let your head get too big. And from the time that she passed, clearly and understandably so, he went through a trauma. Then he got into this relationship with Kim. The relationship demonstrated itself to be toxic. Kim set a boundary. I can't deal with this anymore. If this was a black woman, and I know that this is not going to be popular with black women to say, but if this was a black woman and she made that same decision, they would be saying, yes, sister, protect your peace, protect your family. You can't have this kind of toxicity around your kids and yourself. Put that man in his place. They're not looking at it that way. because Kanye has money, because Kanye's a black man. Let's support the black man no matter what he's saying, no matter what he's doing. All right, there's more comments. And of course, I expected that none of these people who made these comments would hop on here. Because, okay, this is a pretty regular one. Emily Mwanja. Educate yourself. Kanye is doing well. What do you mean by doing well? Leaning into the screen. If the only thing that you're representing doing well is money, Harvey Weinstein did pretty well. A lot of people are making money. A lot of people are Donald Trump is doing well. There's a lot of people who are making money. If doing well just means your net worth, there's a lot of questionable people in this world that are doing well according to those people making those comments. Okay? Because clearly there's a section of the world that only attributes doing well to being able to look up your net worth and see that it has at least 7 figures in there. I'm not one of those people. And you could say, oh, that's because you don't have 7 figures. No. That's my personal beliefs about life. I don't look at people who have, you look pretty good down here, but you ain't really good. Lyrics and Signs of the Times. There's more. I didn't capture all of them, but I got some good ones. Casey Beaver Westbrook. I wish this could be clear, but just so you know that I have it. I'm not against putting these comments up. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Ye is fine. It's us who needs the breakthrough. We need the breakthrough to be like Ye? What, am I living in a parallel universe or something? Am I going nuts here? What, I mean, if I was excluding his erratic behavior, there's business principles of his, for sure, that I could follow. There's, the fact that he believed in himself as an artist, especially back in the day. Cult talk, Sapphire. Cult talk. It is. It is a cult. It is a cult. And you know what kills me, Sapphire? I'm glad that you're on here. People sitting on here cutting me down in the name of supporting a black man. So if tomorrow you were able to look up my net worth and it said 1 billion or 3 billion, I think he's worth 3 billion or more than that now. If it said $3 billion, a lot of those same people who are trying to cut me down right now would be right on my jock tomorrow. Respectfully. You can stand by what you said all you want, and I stand by what I said too. Now, they're only pro-black when it suits their agenda. Okay. I'm not done. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here, Casey. I'm not done. Well, your comment was, pretty mild. But there was another one here that I really wanted to get to, if I can find it. Okay. There's a couple of them. Barboza. This is like celebrities read mean tweets. Barboza Walter. I support Kanye and what he is trying to do. for his children and the world. You will not understand because you are not a genius, entrepreneur, philanthropist. This is beyond your reach. Let's talk about that. Based on what? Based on what, Barboza, Waiter, Walter, whatever your name is. I don't care. Based on what am I not an entrepreneur, a genius, and a philanthropist? Tell me. What do you know about me that can make you say that? Unless you are only basing those things on the net worth that somebody has. If you can look up their net worth, because that would make you look real stupid. Honestly, that would make you look real stupid. When I hop on here on this YouTube page, right? What do you think I'm doing? When I do this volunteer work for these organizations, fitness foundations, cancer foundations, when I go to these nursing homes and play music for the seniors, what is that? Trying to build up my network through this YouTube page. What do you think that is? My website. You know, a bunch of different things that I'm doing. My music. I do my music on the side. I do photography. I do videography. I do art. Actually, I do art too. I do a lot of things. So, looking at this comment, it's beyond your scope because you are not an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. Like, stay in your lane. This is a black woman telling me this. This is a black woman telling. Most of these people who made these comments are black women telling me to support a black man, knowing nothing about me and telling me why they don't support me. Let's talk about that. You only support the black men who have money. Why? What is Kanye going to do for you? I'm pretty sure Kanye's not about to hop on a live and talk to you. You're probably never going to see or hear from Kanye personally in your life. I'm right here. I'm probably doing more for you than he ever will in your life. And you're trying to cut me down. Sapphire, let's stop calling Ye a genius, please. He's a talented, creative, but genius is a stretch. Yeah, it's like, he's a genius and you're not. Why am I not a genius? Tell me. What makes me not a genius other than you looking at the man's net worth and saying you don't have a, but that's literally what was said by 2 to 3 of y'all. You don't have $1 billion, so you don't have a right to talk. How many black men in America have $1 billion? So you're basically saying silence all of y'all. Y'all words mean nothing until you get $1 billion. Most of the billionaires in the United States are not black men. Having money doesn't mean you're smart, talented, or anything else. It just means you indulge in capitalism. And you know what? Sapphire, I agree. I agree with that. But there's people who think that it does. There's people who automatically feel like having money makes you smart, talented, genius, entrepreneur, philanthropist, automatically. They're not giving examples of any of these things. But it's like, this person has this net worth, so you ain't nothing because you don't have that net worth. So it's funny. I don't remember what year Kanye rose to fame. I guess early 2000s, really. Before he rose to fame, people were saying the same things about him that they were saying about me while he was getting up to that billion dollars. He's the same guy in many senses. I mean, obviously he's been through a lot more things, and I think when he got the money and also losing his mother changed him in significant ways, but in essence, he's still the same guy. But he has that clout. He has that clout due to the net worth that he's carrying. Excuse me. Kanye isn't being immoral, he's being political at the same time. His politics harm the community that made him, in my opinion. My mom abandoned me twice, but if I lost her, it would still crush me. I remember Kanye's. I've been done with Kanye since he snatched Taylor Swift's MTV award. I remember his TMZ speech where he was like, 400 years of slavery? Sounds like a choice to me. And Vaughn went in on him. Like, I remember when everyone was like, oh my God, I can't believe Kanye's so misinformed. I had listened to Kanye's every word, hanging off his every word, from the time he became successful as an artist. And I was aware of how much he knew about Black history. So I didn't actually feel that he was making that statement out of ignorance. I felt like he knew exactly what he was doing by making that statement. I feel like he knew exactly what he was doing by making that statement. And the people ran with it. And that's how it's been going for years now. Matter of fact, me even talking about this in a small scale way is benefiting him. Because it's free media, free advertising. I'm not even really necessarily addressing it because of him, but because of the people on my page who make these comments constantly. I understand that not everybody loves them on their page, that people have trolls, haters that follow their page just to hate. But if you're going to tell me, I support such and such billionaire because they're a billionaire and you ain't nothing, you're off my page. I don't need you. If you don't support me, why do I need you on my page? Tell me. What reason are you here? That's the better question. What reason do you have to be here? Go on Kanye's page. Have a live chat with him, since he does so much for you. Ye chooses to harm the Black community and others for clout. Yeah, Sapphire, I agree with you. I really do. That's someone with dark heart because it's intentional. The Black community doesn't realize what he's doing, but he realizes what he's doing. So when people are like, he's smart and he's smarter than you, this and that, I know that the man is smart. I've never thought that he was not smart. Even when he was going through the worst of his mental health symptoms and breakdowns, I work with people in the mental health community 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. There's plenty of intelligent. It's like a stigma for y'all to think that you can't be smart and have a mental health disorder. Some of the smartest people you know have mental health disorders, if you didn't know. And a lot of them are really good at masking that. So I wonder what would happen if somebody that you thought was smart and a genius was like, hey, I have to let you know something. I have bipolar disorder. I have schizophrenia. Would you now try to cut them down? Tell them they're nothing? Because you can't be smart and suffering at the same time? Where are you at, Casey? Where are you at? Van Gogh, suicide due to depression. Good point. Good point, Rich. Good example. Good example. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I had to say for this one. I mean, none of them popped in. Some of them can't pop in. I will say that. But the ones that could pop in are not for the most part. But yeah, I just wanted to address those people. I've read books about really successful people on Wall Street, MDs, medical doctors, people who their professional life is thriving. The people in their work setting and work platform would never know they have any issue, right? They do amazing at work. They make a lot of money. Then they come home and everything just floods them at night. You have no idea what they're going through. You have no idea what that man Kanye is going through. All you see is when he comes outside, he wears his space boots and his Yeezy gear, and he makes his interviews and his comments. He sells his album. You think that's all there is to life? There's more to life than that. We all have our personal battles. No matter, and whatever you say about how above the clouds he is and way above me and way above everyone, that man is a human being. When he drinks a lot of water, he's got to piss in the toilet. When he eats a lot of food, he's got to go to the bathroom. Let that thing out. He gets sick. He gets sad. He gets angry. He puts on his pants one leg at a time. I have never in my life, ever in my life, and I never will think that anyone is above me. There are people that are more successful than me for various factors. But I don't think that I can get there. I don't think that I can't get there. It's just my life circumstances didn't lead me there. And that's why they became friends. A professional victim. My hero is Sir Winston Churchill. He called his depression being visited by his black dog. He lived the dream, functional alcoholism. There's a lot of people who live that same dream. Side note, but did y'all watch How to Get Away with Murder? What was her name on the show? Whatever Viola Davis's character was on the show. She was a perfect example of that. I know it was a written character, but there's people who are just like that in real life. Within their role and within the public setting, within their function, I think that he's trying to galvanize a particular conservative group in order for run for office in 2024. I wouldn't put that past him. I can't say that I've thought about it too in depth, but I would not put that past him because he does. I feel like a lot of what we think is random from him is very calculated. Even when I was reading about those White Lives Matter shirts being a last minute decision, it's Kanye. I don't think that was a last minute decision. I don't think that was a last minute decision at all. I think that was a plan. I think he executed. And I think that people are reacting the exact way he expected the reactions to go. It's definitely his date. Once you get into that type of air, you know the impact. Yeah, like you Candace Owens, come on now. Come on now. He knew exactly what he was doing by having Candace Owens wearing one of those shirts and posing in one of those pictures with him. Or a couple of those pictures. He knew exactly what he was doing with that. That's the perfect agent. I remember when Trump was running for office, I think they were doing the Republican convention at the time, and they were asking him about. That's funny, Rich. How can someone so hot be so hateful? They were asking Trump about advertising dollars, and he was like, "I don't need an advertising budget because everything I put out there, y'all market it for me for free." I think Kanye knows that. I think Kanye knows that. Hi, Lisa. I was addressing the Kanye stands, the Kanye cult. Only one showed up. The other ones did not show up, not surprisingly. Every time I say I'm going to address certain group of people who's saying certain things, they don't show up. But I've been having a conversation with the faithful, Sapphire, Rich, Tammy, people that I know support me, support my causes and my channel, people I appreciate. Nobody else wants that smoke. Hey, and if any of you just don't want to comment on my channel, open up a live in your channel and I'll be all up in that. I'm here. I'm not behind the keyboard. I'm right here. Talk to me. Let me see your face. Let me know what you look like. Half of these accounts probably are not even. I've looked at some of the accounts. They're fake. They're troll accounts. You can't see anything real about them. Yeah, they'll show up in the comments for sure, Lisa. They will show up, and they'll probably show up in the comments after this. They'll put all their responses in my comments. But I just want you to know, I wanna go through these names one more time. Nicole Smith. Watch Kanye on Tucker Carlson on Fox Part 1 and 2 before you claim Kanye's crazy. We are the ones that are crazy. This is outrageous. One. Emily Mawanja. Educate yourself. Kanye is doing well. Casey, who apparently is on here. Ye is fine. It's us who needs a breakthrough. Which, by the way, Casey, there's nothing really wrong with that comment. That was light compared to the other ones. I'm just mentioning it because you're here. And the best one from Barbara Waiter. I support Kanye and what he's trying to do for his children and the world. You will not understand because you are not a genius, entrepreneur, or philanthropist. This is beyond your reach. That's the best comment. I'm gonna post that one up. That's the best one. How do you know that? How do you know that, Barbara? What do you know about me? Some of them are agents of chaos, many on the conservative side because they use him to push a narrative and often... Yeah, that's true. Hi, Shelly. Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, you're right, Sapphire. You're right. But that's why I wanted to call out those names. Yeah, some of these don't even look real. All of y'all are supermodels. Y'all are like supermodels. Half of these are probably dudes pretending to be women. They all look super, yeah. Anyways. Anyways, let me stop. Yeah, those are fake. Definitely. Dropping in to say hello. Finally caught you live. You picked a hot one to jump into. All my bio says is poor people get paid at the start beginning of the month. Why are sales always in the middle of the month? I ask the questions the homeless one answers to. Yeah. Also, certain poor people, I see it in my job. They get taken advantage of, especially when they're in homeless shelters or like subsidized housing, with the fact that the landlords are getting a significant amount of money from what they would be getting from their checks, let's say their SSI, SSD checks. But there's a lot of slumlords in those scenarios where they don't really get good housing services. When things need to be fixed, they don't show up. America in particular is built around exploiting the poor, unfortunately. It's funny how people who tell you not to judge. That's what I'm trying to say, Lisa. It's not even just Kanye. There's a couple of people, I'm not gonna name them, but there's a few people that y'all who have been on my lives consistently have seen telling me that I'm not supporting a black king. They don't support me. So I'm sitting here saying to me, what makes that celebrity, or even if it's a D-list celebrity, that you want me to be so gung-ho about supporting, so much more important than me? And I'm not even making this about me specifically, but what about that black man that owns the local barber shop? What about that black man that's trying to get his restaurant off the ground? He doesn't have $1 billion. The barber owner doesn't have $1 billion. What about that black cleaner that opened up a cleaning business? Why don't you go so hard to support him? Y'all go so hard to support people with money just because they have money. I have an issue with that. It started about Kanye, but it's a big topic. Without exploiting the poor, there would be no Ye, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and all the rest of them. Exactly. How about this? This shirt that I'm wearing here, right? This is my friend's shirt. Hit me up. I got shirts to sell. Melanin Drip, right? I think I might have paid, $35, $40 maybe for it, something like that. Some people would look at this hoodie and be like, what's so special about that? And why would I pay $40? And who is that guy? I said, let me know the price. Let me know how you take your payment. What is it for me to send this guy $40? Even if I could find a name brand shirt for the same price or less and get that shirt. I don't know that dude. I don't know Ralph Lauren. I don't know Tommy Hilfiger. I don't know the owner of Gucci, Louis, Burberry. I don't know those people. I would rather support the black man who created this. It's like, this is my creation, you know? But not everyone thinks that way. The rich get richer. Some people will spend their whole paycheck to give themselves a feel of a Kanye West. Yo, Kanye put out these sneakers. I'm gonna pay $700 for them, even though I only make $700 every 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I'm gonna neglect my responsibilities so that I can put on those Yeezy sneakers or the shirt or the space boots or whatever. Meanwhile, I'm not gonna support the black people in my community. Sorry, I'm ranting, but this is just a topic that happened to coincide, obviously, with things that I've been thinking about for years. I had people say that they wouldn't come to one of my speaking events because they thought $15 was too much for a ticket. There's people right now who are paying $1,000 to spend a few minutes with Chris Brown. And some of those same people would be the same people telling me that my $15 ticket for my public speaking event is too much, where they would get 2 hours of me speaking. They would get food. They would get interaction. There was music at the event. You know, like there was a lot of things. And to me, most importantly, the person who's throwing the event, you can talk to me directly. I'm right here. You can communicate with me. We can collaborate together. Where are we at here? Hey, Chocolate. What's up? What's up? What's up? I was addressing the trolls, but they didn't show up. And the one person who showed up made one comment and bounced. So it's really just the people who support me in here, which is cool with me. I expected that. Thank y'all, by the way, because none of this is addressed to any of you that are in here that I know of, unless there's one or two silent ones. But the ones who are commenting, these are already people who support me, who have been on my lives for a minute now, and I appreciate all of you. Yeah, and they put down other people while they do it. Yeah. People worshiping Kanye as a genius because he's rich. Yeah, especially whoever that person is. That I read that comment a few times. That person in particular, yeah. Barboza Walter. Barboza Waiter. I don't know. The same mindset to follow and excuse Kanye's bad behavior is the same mindset that got us Trump followers and QAnon. Talk about it. Talk about it. I'm not really a fan of Kanye, if I'm completely honest. Tammy, can you retype that? Is discussing the fall anyone who that has money blindly. The celebrity worshiping thing is just disgusting. I'd rather support small mom and I like I said, this is not even my shirt. I don't even think twice when people ask me these things. All the local businesses in my area know me, especially the black-owned ones, if I'm being honest. I don't get that same love in return, but that's just something that I do for me. They want to wish worse. They trash a black man on the come up. Sapphire. I get way more love than hate. Okay, so I don't address this stuff often. Because I would say when I'm reading my comments, 85% of them really good, extremely solid. That 10 to 15% gets to me once in a while. Because I'm like, you want me to support this person. You want me to support that one. You want me to support this one. But you're telling me I ain't ish. Based on what? Based on what? Because we're talking about people who have a rap sheet of things that they're doing. I don't have that. You don't know anything about me. I mean, you know what I share with you on here, but you don't know enough about me to have those types of personal comments. You're not a genius. You're not an entrepreneur. You're not a philanthropist. I'm sorry, I can't even say the word right now. You're not trying to improve the world. What? I've been doing those things for free. I do so much volunteer work, it's not even funny. I'm just now coming to a point where I'm trying to monetize certain things, but not in a way that exploits people, just in a way where it's like I provide value for you guys. And so I'm able to support myself in return. Because I could be like, I'm a mother effing genius. Y'all don't understand my genius. I have so much art. I have so many things that I could show you guys that, I could be like, oh, that's over your head. That's beyond you. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not that type of person. I don't operate that way. You got to be humble. You got to be humble. It's like you can have the money and you can have the fame. But when you go to bed at night, do you feel happy? Do you feel fulfilled for real? Do you feel at peace? Or do you feel like you're always trying to prove something to the world and to yourself? Because if I make $1 billion and I die tomorrow, the money's not going in the grave with me. When we go to the funeral, they're not going to be like, here lies Mark. He had $1 billion. Who cares about that at that point? They're going to talk about the type of man that I was, the way that I supported my family, the things I put out there in the world. Like, come on. I hope somebody's hearing me right now. Some people just ignore reality and double down on their bias because there's a constituency that wants nothing to change. Constituency. I don't know why I can't read that word right now. That wants nothing to change, even at the expense of being ambiguous in the face of a clear moral choice. Someone recently called his shoe plastic bird cage. Like, I won't buy something just because a celebrity made it, or just because they wore it, or just because they endorsed it. Remember Shaq endorsing his Kias? That's a huge man, and that's a little car. Like, Shaq would really think that a Kia is his car of choice. There's a lot of things that people do once they get to that level, just for the bag. Very true. They want to keep things the same, no progress. And a lot of these, like, black celebrities especially, realize that being a conservative is their best chance of keeping the social structure the way that it is. In other words, they look at the people who got rich and see how they got there. And instead of trying to break the mold and create more people who can get into that space, more black people to get into that space without doing those things, they would rather just do what the white people are doing to get there and stay there. Because that's the easier way. Kanye is definitely mentally challenged, and some people are feeding his challenges by continuing to make excuses for him. He needs to be called back for turning his back on. And I feel like someone like me, who is like, I hope that man gets help, is a bigger supporter than somebody who says, Kanye walks on water. Nothing he does is wrong. Everything that he's doing is for the people, his family, to get his kids back, etc., etc. You need people in your corner, for real, who are going to be the first people to tell you, you're wrong here. I've been saying this. You can't have everybody telling you that you can do no wrong. Nobody's perfect. $1 billion or not. Nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything. Nobody goes through life without making mistakes. The black community, for the most part, has turned their back on him. As soon as people start thinking that someone can do no wrong, it's a big problem. Yes, yes, Shelly. He weaponized his mental. It's so interesting, Sapphire. It's so interesting, Sapphire, because at one point he was an advocate for mental health. Now he's saying mental health is a mind control technique. And there was people that were rocking with both of those things. Some of the same people rocking, like if he drastically changed what he says from today to tomorrow, there's people who are going to rock with that. I kind of think plenty of people in the black community support him too, Donna D. They could literally get away with murder and people would be like, oh, but he's okay. Telling you, Jeffrey Dahmer. Good example, Shelly. Money does not absolve you from responsibility, or it shouldn't. It does, but it shouldn't. I was thinking the same thing. It's not wrong, and it's not downing a black man or a black person in general or anyone. Forget it. Take away just black people. It's not downing somebody to say that you hope that they get psychiatric help. I have received that. It was very beneficial to me. I am a black man who went to therapy for years. It did not mean that I was crazy, and it did a lot for me as a man and as a person. So don't ever tell me that me saying that a black person, and especially a black man, needs that is saying something because I don't want them to succeed, or because I'm downing them or hating on them or calling them crazy. That statement is crazy. I think the black community is slowly shying away from him now. He doesn't feel like he needs us either. Well, it depends on what you mean by supporters, Sapphire. It's interesting though, because if you look at the response to his White Lives Matters shirts, clearly white people were the people who were most into that. Unsurprisingly, of course, unsurprisingly. He knew what he was doing with that one. I've been receiving counseling on and off since I was 15 years old, and a lot of people call women crazy for various reasons, but I'm a lot more stable than a lot of people my age because of the counseling. Most people in general do not do that self-work. And I've been talking about this for at least 2 to 3 days now. Most people, I feel, do not do that self-work that is required to be a complete human being on this earth. Now, you go up those tax bracket lists to the people who have 7 figures and up, and that number shrinks even further. The only thing that those people, I shouldn't say everyone, but the only thing that the majority of those people seem to end up doing is drug rehab and anger management rehab. And for those things is usually when they went too far, pushed the envelope too far, and have to do something in order to come back in the public eye. Because we're the ones who make them paid. We're the ones who pay them. If Kanye's fans were like, this is too much, I'm no longer buying your albums, I'm no longer paying for your clothes, your shoes, this and that. No matter how much of a genius he is, he would have to adjust. But that's never going to happen. Let's not forget the Jewish community that he recently offended. And you know, when you mess with the wrong group, you'll be canceled. Ask Nick Cannon. I mean, they let him back in, but ask Nick Cannon. You're absolutely right. Ask Nick Cannon. I know there's things I could say right now, even in my platforms and where I am and the level that I'm at. I could say there's things that I could say right now that would make sure I don't have a job or a channel right now. That's just the way the power structure works. He did, Sapphire. He's attacking the very people who helped evaluate him. Yeah, he's in a dangerous place. 3 months ago, he was attacking. Man, he was making threats about Pete Davidson. He was showing up at the house unannounced. He was doing wild things, and he was spinning it like, I don't trust anyone around my kids. It's all for the name of my kids. It's not all for the kids. A lot of it is for the pride. A lot of it is for the ego. The kids are watching the things that you're putting online. I mean, I don't know if they are, but you can't hide those things from kids in this day and age. Please. As soon as they get outside the house. Even if you took away their cell phones, somebody's going to show them. It's toxic. He knows what he's saying. I know, right? Now he's saying that they won't let him see his. Now you see color. Yeah, I know, right? I'm glad you're on here, Sapphire. I really am. That's so funny. I didn't think of that. But it's so true. You see color when it's convenient to your cause. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I had to say. I had people to address. One showed up, the rest did not show up. I didn't really I hoped that they would show up. I didn't necessarily expect them to, but we're going to be chopping this up. I'm going to be chopping this up. Hey Trisha, I'm not done with this topic. I'm not done with this topic. I'm not done with this topic. And how about this? When you see me, this like the stuff that you've seen, okay? The 1,730 whatever people that are on here, on the page, I mean, and at one point before I had to delete my Big Brother stuff, the 1.3 million views and all that stuff was in a month. I did that in a month. Now, it's going to take me some time to get it together, but that doesn't mean that I'm never going to get it together. It can happen. It can happen tomorrow. It could happen next week, a month, a year. I'm not going to give up, but I am not a nobody until my net worth reaches this amount. I'm a somebody now. I am a somebody now who sometimes nobodies with fake accounts jump on here and want to bring down, thinking that it's going to stop me from what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing what I'm doing with or without those people. That's just it. As they say, point blank and the period. The court is going to see a man. Tammy, how is what he's doing helping him see his kids? Y'all are talking too much common sense at this point. Y'all need to stop with this common sense. Y'all need to stop with this common sense. People don't like that. So many people try to stop over the years, and look at you still going. I'm still going, and I'm still going to be going, and I'm going to be going forever. We need to nip this in the bud when it comes to Kanye. We've been feeding a monster. It's completely out of hand. Did y'all ever see that South Park episode with Kanye? That episode was to me the funniest South Park episode ever. I almost want to see if I can find it, but I mean I could find it. I, I'm just scared about playing it and getting my video stopped when I really want people to see this video on the replay. But maybe I could play the audio for y'all. Somebody has to have seen it. Somebody has to have seen it. Yeah, look it up. Yeah, you're right. I'm not even gonna, because when I do my reapplication in November, I'm just gonna have videos like this. I'm just gonna have videos like this. We need to hold people who do these unhinged things accountable. I was CPS. Oh, you were? He'd be seeing his kids under supervision of a court-appointed guardian for years. Yeah, man. Threatening her boyfriends, popping up at the house, unannounced, sending her trucks of roses and all this kind of stuff. These crazy Instagram rants where he's posting all these personal messages. That is not, oh, he's fighting to see his kids. Listen, if I were her, I'm not even a huge Kim Kardashian supporter, but if I were her, I would be worried about this man with my kids. I would. What is he going to do with them? What happens if we get in an argument? He going to hop on a plane and take them somewhere? He's a loose cannon. He's unstable. Calling her mother Hitler. Wild, Sapphire. Wild. That's wild. I think Kim is worried. She wouldn't have left him unless she was I think so too. I think Kim not trying to do like full custody to where he can't see them at all is probably due to being afraid also. Because I think if it was Joe Schmo, I know, right? Let's be honest, he's downright scary, and I feel for her and those kids. Me too. He lives across the street. Oh, man, crazy, right? That's unfortunate too, Sapphire. It's true and it's unfortunate. Yeah. It's true and it's unfortunate. And I think he was in control of a lot of things with her finances at the time while they were together. Good conversation though, y'all. And by the way, anyone on my page, right? Anyone who supports me on my page, if you have merchandise, website, your own YouTube, any of that kind of stuff, for my supporters only, hit me up, because I believe in giving back what I received from other people. And over the last month, this has been a wonderful platform for me. We talked about certain things. We started talking about Big Brother only, but we started to talk about so many things. Some things that I never even expected to get from a group that primarily started following me because of Big Brother. It has done things for me mentally, emotionally, and financially from the donations that I've been receiving on my page. So thank y'all. You have my support as well. It's not one-sided. I'm here. Anything you need, just hit me up. Hit me up. Add my Instagram if you haven't already. I know some of you are on there. Send me an email. Sapphire, you're talking my language right now. You are talking my language right now. This is a whole topic right here. People in our community, right, feel like we can't do things like barter. Because it's like, I boost you up, it's going to take away from my shine. So I don't want to barter with you. I had somebody that I was bartering with, Sapphire. I had somebody a black man that I was bartering with, right? And it was working well to me. I had services that I was offering him. He had services that he was offering me. I think it was working well. I held up my end of the bargain. So did he to a point in time. And then he hit me with the Fat Joe, basically. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And I'm like, well, why not? Because we talked about this arrangement before we got into it. I said, this is what I need, and this is what I can do for you. I felt it was a fair, even exchange. He told me he could no longer do the barter, and I had to pay a pretty good amount. So we stopped with the bartering. Look at how these other races do it. Asians, Jews. You know what I mean? Like, these people work together. A lot of this is the fact that they're willing to work together to get things done and to accomplish things that they want. Even like something as simple as group economics when it comes to owning properties. Build each other up. Yes, Tammy. Build each other up instead of tearing each other down. Yes, Shelly. Capitalism will override racism and the other isms all the time. Word. And black people who get involved in that. Slavery and the poverty mindset has done a number on us black people. Yeah. Do you know they say it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes the same village to help each other in more than one way in life. Yeah. We can break the cycle and break the system. It has to start somewhere. We need to stop putting these people on a pedestal who are not supporting those causes and calling them geniuses and people who are above us. Because they're not. Look where they started. They got the right machine behind them. Takes a village to help each other when we are struggling, to help our businesses, to help raise our kids, to help house each other without all of us going broke. Sorry, excuse me. That is so true. But we don't do that. We live in silos. We live in silos. Yeah, so Sapphire, the episode that I was talking about, South Park. I haven't really watched South Park in years. I used to be a huge South Park fan, but it was an episode where they basically made a joke and Kanye didn't get the joke, and he did this whole he was mapping it out on like a whiteboard. He was like, "How does this joke make sense? I'm a lyrical mother effing genius. Fish sticks." The joke was basically they said, "Do you like fish sticks?" But it sounded like fish dicks, and he didn't understand. He was like, "Yes, I like fish sticks. I like the way that fish sticks taste in my mouth." And he didn't understand why everyone was laughing. He beat somebody up. He beat up Carlos Mencia for it. He was threatening people. It's funny. It's funny because it was just kind of satire on his personality. I'm grateful for my friends and family because that's how we are. Some people have money and they don't. We gotta work on some things here. Yeah, you'll find it funny, Sapphire. We gotta work on some things here within my community. Here. I have some people like that in my life, but I'm willing to work with people like that here in my new community that has developed on here. Cause y'all provide me with a lot. And it doesn't even have to be an exchange of money. It could just be an exchange of like ideas, time, talent, you know? I'm sure y'all have many of those. But I bet you when people are watching this back on the playback, they're mostly going to be focused on the first 40 minutes of fire. Especially because that's not usually what I bring. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to let people know. Sometimes you have to let people know. I don't know everything. I'm not perfect. But I do know a lot of things. And I stand on my word and I'm willing to speak and show you my face. My face is here. I had people during the Big Brother season tell me, take your face off of there. I don't like your face. I don't care if you like my face. It's my channel. If you don't like my face, go find somebody else's channel whose face you like. No skin off my back. I'm doing fine before you say that, after you say that. Apparently some people liked it because, you know, a good amount of people are here. But anyways, y'all, I planned to make this, 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, and it went on longer because of these great comments. Being on Twitch, I've also heard some similar things, and it's just like absolutely absurd. I know. My block list is getting kind of crazy. My block list is getting kind of crazy. But yes, have a great night. Hit me up. Music and Mental Health on Instagram. I have my email in my bio. Some people have messaged me on there already. You can hit me up on there. And if there's anything that you want to see here. Oh, and I mentioned this in the community, but I hit up Indy's page. For those who watch Big Brother, I hit up Indy's page. Somebody suggested, I think it was Miss Geechee, suggested that it could possibly be Indy. I don't care who it is, but they said that my page was great, and I'm trying to work towards getting that indie interview. That would be my first interview from somebody from Big Brother. So it would only be my second interview with somebody from TV, but first Big Brother interview, which would make sense for me. And I hope I'm able to get that. It wasn't my first choice. Um, but it also wouldn't be my last choice either. It's somebody I would be interested in interviewing for real, especially because of the post Big Brother stuff. There's a lot to talk about there. So we're going to get some stuff done. We're going to get some stuff done. All right. Have a great night. Thanks for coming.